Hey, ladies, welcome to another self love conversation. My name is Gloria Ward. And as you ladies know, we bring you some amazing guests who talk about not only self love, but also how you can live your highest and truest self, how you can increase your self worth, and how you can actually live the life you want to live because that is true. That is something that is not airy fairy. I tell you guys this all the time. And I have a woman here who will actually prove it to you. And her name is Miss Marla J. Albertie. She is a speaker. She is an entrepreneur. She is a writer. She is a cruise junkie, she said, which we're going to get to that. She's a certified career and life coach. And tonight we're going to talk about the importance of bragging on yourself. So, Miss Marla, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Gloria. I'm just some of the things you said, airy fairy. I love that.
Yeah, because Marla, and just to open up the conversation, the world we living in right now, we have a lot of people, who do brag on themselves. They
Yeah.
they create this whole big story,
Yeah.
and then their
Yeah.
life is something that does not match up, right? So
Mhm.
then you have people who, especially on social media, who is trying to follow these people, say what they, say what they say, do what they do, and then the life does not match up because what you find is that really they are depressed, they have
Mm.
low self-esteem, they have all this stuff, and they use that to see if they can increase that. And so my first question to you is, when it comes to really bragging on yourself,
Yeah.
isn't that considered to be an inside thing? Don't you need to have that on the inside first before you go out?
Oh my gosh, Gloria. So I'm gonna try not to just make this the only question that we answer tonight.
Right.
That's a lot. So let me just give a little bit of context as to why I even came up with this book. So
Okay.
I'm a certified career life coach. Like you said, I call myself the work life harmonizer. I help the 9 to 5 working women discover solutions for work life harmony because there's no such thing as balance,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Because something's gonna always be off kilter. So I came up with this fun workbook. That's what it is. It's a fun workbook
mhm.
for women to realize their value. So I've coached, I don't know, hundreds. I may dare to say thousands. I've coached a lot of people.
Yeah.
My business turned 10 years this year. Yes, and I
Congratulations.
was told that coaching businesses don't last long. Well, I'm still
That's
here,
right. Mhm.
right? And what I just and I've coached men too. What I've discovered, these women, they didn't see themselves. They were they were last on the totem pole in their mind. Even though they had families, kids, spouses, whatever, had active lives, but they didn't see the value of themselves. So I would just tell them to go make a list of things, 10 things that you like. I still tell my clients that today. Remove all the obstacles in your world. Family, kids, whatever's an obstacle to you, and write down the things that you would want to do. If you had all the time, money, obstacle gone, write that down. I said, you know what? This needs to be a book.
Yep.
And so I created a book. It's 100 questions, and they're fun questions. They're questions like your 10 favorite cars, your
Mhm,
5 favorite foods, why 10 reasons why a company would hire you.
mhm.
When was the last time you wrote those type of things about yourself? When
Right.
was the last time you said those things about yourself? The things
Right.
that you like. I didn't. Now the book didn't say, you know, 5 things my kids like. It
Right.
doesn't say. It doesn't say 5 things my spouse wants for Christmas. The book
Mhm.
is about you. Whoever's holding the book in their hand, it's about them.
Right.
And I wanted them to see that because bragging gets a negative connotation, right?
It does.
Right? We think, okay, if we're bragging, we're being pompous and thinking we're all that. Well, yeah, I do think I'm all that.
Mhm.
Going back to what you just said, right? You have to. It has to be seen on the inside,
Right.
right? Nobody around here is perfect. I'll be the first to raise my both hands and say I'm not perfect at all,
Mhm.
right? But I had to learn. That's why I call myself the work life harmonizer. I had to learn to find my value, find my worth. I put all my time and energy into 2 marriages,
Right.
into a church,
Mm.
into religion, into so many other people, and I didn't know who I was. My friends even told me they didn't know who I was.
Mhm. And it's so crazy because I'm working on something now where I'm
Mhm,
just saying to myself as I'm working on
mhm,
this workbook that
mhm,
all of the stuff that we believe is so
mhm.
outside of ourselves,
Yeah,
where really everything that we need is on the inside.
yeah.
And what I heard you say without saying it is that this ultimate bragging book is
Mhm,
really a blueprint to give you an insight as to who you really are and what you like. So you could take this blueprint and these
mhm.
questions and actually take some
Yeah,
action with
yes,
any of these things,
yes,
because this is exactly what I
yes,
like and what I want. Now, the problem with that is,
yeah,
though, Marla, is the whole thing of that guilt and what society believes that you have internalized.
yeah.
Oh, if I do that, I'm being, selfish, or I'm gonna feel guilty because if I do step out there and do this, how do you break through that barrier where it is so deeply embedded in your mind
Mhm,
that if I do something for myself, that
mhm.
I'm gonna feel guilty for doing something for me?
Yeah. Let me tell you, Gloria, this is so, again, we can spend hours talking about this topic,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
It's so deep, but I love that you said that. So, just real quick, I'll comment on the fact of what you said about. I've had people come back to me and tell me that they use the book for to start a business.
Yeah,
They use the book because they came up with ideas they never even thought
yeah.
about,
Mhm.
questions that I prompted them to do. They use the book to help better. One couple said they bettered their marriage. Like they
Yeah.
use the book as a marriage tool, and
Mhm.
it wasn't meant, really meant for that, right?
Uh-huh.
So hey, use it how you need to, right? But going back to the question is, people have to, oh my God, people have to start to think, who are we trying to impress?
Mhm.
Who is it? Who is it that we're on social media that we got to get all these likes from? Who is it? Because not a lot of times it's not a whole bunch of people. A lot of times, if you go through social on Facebook, people are typing all types of comments, and they're
Right,
subliminal. I don't.
right,
They're talking to one person. I don't know who, but they have 13,000 friends, but they're talking to one person,
right.
right? When I read that, because I'm in school for psychology, right? I read that. I say to myself, who are they talking to? Who are
Mm.
they trying to make themselves feel good for, right? And then that's where that guilt starts. So they're watching other people, they're watching the facade of what you mentioned earlier of someone else,
Yep.
right? And then when they do get that little bit of chance to go do something good for themselves, mm, someone on social media, they see this hardworking mom that has 20 kids and she's not doing anything for herself, or or whatever. I've seen some of the silliest things. And I've coached so many women, I've heard some of the silliest stories I've ever heard in
Right,
my life. Right.
right.
So they they'll take these excuses and say I don't deserve that.
Yeah.
I don't see the word the what it would do for me. But I'd rather take that time and see my kid happy. Oh, I'm not gonna celebrate my birthday because my birthday is right before my son's birthday or my daughter's birthday or my husband's birthday. So I'm gonna let them go ahead and you know why? Right? So
Yeah.
that came from a few areas. That came from, like I said, social media. But let's go backwards some, right?
Mm.
It came from that little girl, the parents, the childhood that you may have had, whether it was broken or not. Everybody didn't come from a broken home. Let's normalize that for Black people. All Black people didn't come from broken homes,
Right.
right? Um, but how do you start with that? Let's start with a capital T, therapy. Let's start with that.
Mhm.
Therapy. You get that's number one. Number two, get you a real support system,
Yep.
a real, whether that's girlfriends, boyfriends, they, whoever, whatever. Get you a real support system, people that you can actually talk to and not have to walk on eggshells with, because you can't share everything with everybody. And
Right,
that's something I had to learn. Right?
right.
I'm not sitting here. I say I have this thing perfected at all, Gloria, at
Mhm.
all. But I've come a long ways from where I was at
I'm
when
on
I
that.
was divorced for the second
Mhm.
time. I had to
That's
get over that. I had to
mhm.
get over the shame of that. Oh,
Mhm.
she's been married twice. Well, if you get married again a third time, well, if I do, What y'all said about Elizabeth Taylor?
Come on now.
And if I do, they say when you turn 40, I'll be 46 this year. They say
Yeah.
you turn 40, you kind of forget about people's opinions.
Come on now.
You know, you have to somehow one day, and I literally say it like this, you have to wake up one day and say, damn it, I'm done. You gotta one day get tired of blaming society, blaming your parents, blaming people, and say, you know what? My parents did the best that they could. I did what I could. Let me go get help. Let me go get therapy. Let me go get counseling. Let me talk to people. Let me find my circle. Let me journal. Because I'm a huge journaler. Journaling is so therapeutic. It's
Yep.
so therapeutic. You gotta help yourself. That's what I've learned is we all want somebody else to blame and we don't ever want to do the work.
Come on.
Do the work. I've done the work. That's hard as been. Two therapists, mother, dad, my son didn't see me go through God knows what, all types of experiences. And I'm not saying mine is better than anybody else's, right? There's things that people still don't know, right?
Yep.
And at some point I said, Marla, I got to love Marla. I got to love me. And I don't need anyone's validation for that. So
And
stop
then
looking for the
and then when
validation.
you look at it, Marla, like I sit up here and I tell myself, and I told myself, I'm 44. I told myself this
Yeah.
after my sister passed because she died of a pulmonary embolism, right?
Mm-mm.
And she was coming outside, and I tell this story all the time. She was coming outside to get in the car with my cousin and her pastor to go to the mall to go shopping. Homegirl did not know she was going to die that day. She thought she was going to the mall to go get some clothes. And when she came out of the house, she passed out right there. And all of a sudden, she wasn't here anymore. And that experience woke me up because it just told me, it gave me that aha of whatever it is that you're thinking and what life gives you is two different things. So if you have not lived, and if you're not living, and if you are just being stagnant and not doing your best to experience this thing called life, you never know when it's going to be taken away, because the biggest thing that we think we have is time. The biggest thing that we think we have is time. And once you figure out that they do not exist, because the people that you think is caring about what you're doing and what they saying and all that stuff, they can give a damn. You're the only one who's staying up late thinking about what they thinking about you, and they sleeping.
Gloria, let's not be on here till next week, okay, Gloria? Let me tell you something.
They sleeping.
I got three things for you, Gloria. Number one, my mantra is keep it moving. Kim, I have a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Wherever the it is in the I, wherever the it is in your life, keep going. We all got it's, right? Yep. Number two, I'm gonna talk about your sister here in a minute. Number two is, oh goodness, I just let me bring up because something in me. Your sister. You said something because in 2018, Gloria, I had a DVT that traveled to my heart and broke off into multiple pieces and became multiple pulmonary embolisms. I checked myself into the hospital. The doctor says, "Oh, you have multiple clots all over your lungs. We're going to check you in." Very nonchalant because they can't show emotion. I get it.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, 2018, I said to myself, I said, what? I said, I got too much to do. This can't be it. Because all you know about pulmonary embolism is what you just said. I said, this can't be it. I heard that, I heard the Serena had them. I heard, and I'm like, what the ham and cheese? But thankfully I'm here. So prayers go out to your family for your loss. But I said that to say it is a wake up. And I took that after I came out of the hospital, I took that month off. And I did some deep soul searching. And I said, I'm at a point, I said, I just can't, I can't be bogged down with thoughts and opinions of others. I honestly, and I don't try to sound like I don't uh, mean or anything like that, be mean or whatever, but I honestly can't care. Honestly, I don't have the ability in my mind to care.
Hear-
Right?
I
You
hear
have to
you.
be careful. Excuse my French, but you have to be careful where you put your fucks.
I hear you.
Excuse my French.
I hear
You
you.
have to be careful how many you give out.
I hear you.
And I'm not giving out a lot of them because I have something to do on this planet. And I cannot be distracted by those who want to distract me.
Mhm.
So either you're on this bandwagon or you're not. Doesn't mean I hate you. Doesn't mean I dislike you. I can wait, you know. You know, but we don't have to be in sync. It's okay. You don't have to be in sync with everybody.
Mhm.
It's okay. It's okay. And what we have to understand in life, we say it's cliche, but life really is short. Do you understand? Life
I do.
really is short. I think about people who have lived before us, right? I think about, example, the presidents, and you can tell I'm a psychologist. I think about all kinds of crazy stuff.
Mhm.
But think about the presidents. We're still saying their names. We're still saying George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, you know, all these people, right? They lived so long ago, but how long ago was that? They still dead. So you're gonna be dead a long time than you are living.
And then you living. That's right.
So they've been dead a long time, a long, long, long time.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna try my hardest and my damnedest to when I literally just did a podcast earlier today, and
Mhm.
he asked me, he said, what would you, if in your life, right? What would you want people to say? And I said, you know what? Great question. It's something I think about often, you know? And I want people at that old age, 135, whatever, you
Mhm.
know, all these old people, they're all gonna be old because all my friends' family gonna live forever,
That's right.
right? Right. But they're gonna be out, it's gonna be hundreds of them standing outside just to say the amount of small impact that I had in their life.
Mhm.
If I, and I say this on this podcast today, if you hear anything I say and it impacted you an inch, then I've done my duty. I've done what I need to do. And I say that because we have a lot we still have to work on. I know we blame everything on the pandemic, but the pandemic did a lot and it's still doing some stuff.
It did.
And we have to take control, women, we have to take control of our thoughts, and everything starts up here. Everything,
Mhm.
everything, everything
Mhm.
starts in your mind. And if you allow social media, people, opinions, how you look, your hair, if you allow all of these other opinions to cloud you, this is what I've worked with, you know, veterans. I'm a veteran myself, and suicide is real, right? But it's because of thoughts. And don't get me wrong, it goes a lot deeper than that. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm. Mhm.
but the thoughts are in there. We studied this, a part of the study.
Mhm.
Thoughts, thoughts. Something is telling them this planet will be better off without me here.
Mhm.
Something's telling them that. It's a chemical imbalance. It is real. But if
So,
you don't get the help, you have to get the help.
so
There's
Marla,
help
I
out
would
there
tell
for
you
you.
this. I would tell you this because we have a lot of women who listen to this podcast and they say, Marla, it worked for you.
Yeah,
Gloria, it worked for you.
yeah.
You don't know my life.
Mm,
My life is different.
yeah,
This is my life.
yeah.
I go to work, I come
Mhm,
home, I have my kids or my grandkids, I have problematic children.
mhm,
I'm trying to make ends meet, still
mhm,
trying to be a wife, or we
mhm,
not getting along.
mhm, mhm,
And I don't have time or room to
mhm,
think about the things that I want
mhm,
because all I'm trying to do is get by with what's in front of me. And what's in front of me is so big
mm,
that I can't even see anything that I can do for myself. And it has been this way for years and years and years. I
mhm,
don't know how you got out, but
mhm,
I can't figure out
mhm.
how to get out
Right.
because getting out Marla, Gloria is a big disruption to my life where everything that I've known will have to come to an end because what I really want to do is walk out this damn door.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, what would you say to that woman?
Oh, this is why I coach. I I have them sit down and write down a list. I know it sounds simple, but write it down. And I haven't yet to have a client, Gloria, who has actually done the assignment and they were not in tears or impacted. Remove obstacles, barriers, just remove all the problems you just listed. Remove all that. Let's pretend. Let's be a child and pretend. Because imagination is beautiful. Let's use our imagination and just make a list of all the things that you would be doing or want to do. Then I encourage them to start small. Everything you just said in my ears is an excuse because you're going to have to get uncomfortable. Do you think I got married to get divorced twice? Do you think I got married to sell my house that I built from the ground up? Do you think I woke up to get married and do that? You think I asked to have an autistic son? Do you think I asked for my mama to die of ALS? We've all got issues. We've all got problems. I'm not minimizing yours or making mine bigger or making yours smaller. That's not the point. You have to decide. And this is the part I can't help you with, the timeline. You have to decide when you are tired. And I tell you something, everybody gets tired sooner or later. Hopefully it's going to be sooner, but everybody does get tired. And when you get tired, you have to get uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I had to sell the house. We had a huge hurricane come through. The hurricane tore the roof off the house. Had to get a new roof put on. I'm trying to sell the house. Roof gone.
Mm-hmm.
If something crazy didn't happen, it was one thing after the next. One thing after the next happening. I'm still mad at the divorce. I'm still dealing with stuff. Trying to find a therapist. Trying to do all this. I'm like, but I got uncomfortable. And that's what I just said. You have to get uncomfortable. Stop making excuses and do it. Because guess what? Society has told you, because you think that you're the only person dealing with this.
Correct.
But guess what? There is help out there, but you can only take the horse to the water. We can't make you drink it.
Sure can. And struggle
Right?
love is not real love.
Right.
Struggle love
Right.
is not real love.
So if you are,
You have
honey,
to.
let me tell you something. I told my son this. I told my son, nobody will impede upon my peace ever again.
Come on now.
And I meant that. Not even him. And I love him to pieces.
Come on now.
Not even him.
Mm.
And I'm to this day, I mean that. To this day. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna bother my peace. And peace is what's gonna keep you living.
Mm-hmm.
So women out there who have all these things, because I have them, I still have a lot of them, really, you have to decide who's first in your life. You are where you are at. The number one thing Jack Canfield talks about, take responsibility for your actions. You got to take responsibility for this. Stop blaming husband, kids, job. You chose that job, you chose that man, and you got them children. Figure out what's next. Let's move forward. Now, if you need therapy or counseling, go to therapy. But if you want me to be a coach, I'm going to move you forward. That's what we need to do. Because I believe in you, but I can't believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So don't even waste your money or time if you're not going to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. That is a problem, Gloria. That is the number one problem with my clients that I've seen. They don't want to do the work. And then when I keep going, they do it. You know what I'm saying? But just people in general. People just want to blame people. They don't want to go to counseling. They don't want to do this. Well, my childhood, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know. I don't have to know every detail of your story. Matter of fact, it's good that you don't tell every detail. Actually,
That's right.
But you have to somehow work on it for yourself, for your children, for your spouse, but mainly for yourself. And you have to see the beauty in who you are. Oh my God, so many women don't see how beautiful they are.
They don't. And how
And
powerful
how powerful you are.
Mm-hmm.
But and it saddens me because like I said, I'm not perfect. I have my times, I have my issues, but I'm a constant reminder. Guess what I do? I have sticky notes all over the house. I
Yeah.
have positive. If you come to my house, people love coming to my house because it's just so. I have positive affirmations all
Mhm.
over the house. I got words of positivity. I have positive pictures, black art, beautiful pictures all over the house to remind me to be happy. My
Mhm.
house is not a house of white walls and boring. I'll be bored staring at a white wall. You
Mhm.
know, in my last house, we painted the rooms. A different room had a different color. So I need happiness. I did
Mhm.
everything I could to make sure I did the work. I did everything I could to make sure that I am happy. I
Mhm.
am happy because no one can make you happy.
Mhm.
Someone
And
can add to your happiness, but
and
they can't.
another thing that I say, Marla, is, and I say to you women out there,
Yeah,
again, when you're on this journey, it's not
yeah,
all about tears and crying and being sad.
yeah.
Yes, there is a releasing part to this journey because you're letting go of your old
Yes,
self.
yes,
It's also fun because once you discover who you are and you could start to brag on yourself, you get to see and experience new things about you that you have never experienced before or even thought about.
yes.
So a lot of women get afraid because they like, well, I don't, it's gonna be a whole bunch of crying and boring and sadness, and I'm not trying to be sad. And like I tell them, once you start to release and walk the journey and let go, yes, it's going to be some of that. But
Yeah,
like you said,
yeah,
once you figure out your blueprint and
yeah.
you start bragging on yourself and you
Mhm.
start finding your tribe, you become a cruise junkie, you
Yeah,
become an entrepreneur, you
yeah.
figure out the things that you want to do and you start to live in your life because now your world becomes different.
Right,
So it's not about when you start, oh, it's just going to be sad and this, all. It's not about that. It's about
right.
getting on a journey
Yeah,
and riding that journey out for you to grow,
yeah.
right? It's
Yes.
about seeing who you are, but you got to start somewhere, like you said.
Start. You just got to start. Start with the list. Start blocking your time on your phone. I'm a big person on blocking. My family and friends, they laugh at me all the time because I live by my Google calendar. But
Yeah.
guess what? I control the calendar. The calendar don't control me because I'm the one put stuff on the calendar.
Hmm.
I do that. So if something's on my calendar, it's because I want it to be there.
Right.
Right? Because I control it. Right. And I talk about the cruising thing. I've gone on, like I said, 18 cruises. And if I had to guess, maybe out of those 18, maybe like 10 of them were solo.
Hmm.
And maybe 9 or 10, something like that. And people have asked me all the time, Marla, why do you solo cruise? I can't solo cruise. I can't do that. Well, you're right. You're right. You're right. Whatever you say you can't do, you are absolutely right. Check,
Absolutely.
check, check. But Marla can.
Hmm.
And let me tell you how I do it. I go online to Carnival Royal Caribbean.com and I put in my credit card and I book it and I pay the double occupancy.
Hmm.
That's how you do it. It's just that simple. I don't.
Right.
But if you think too long on it, if you think too much about it, you ain't gonna do it because you come up with excuses. Now I don't have time to think. I need to go because if I wait on people, I'm gonna miss life.
Mm.
If I have waited on people, you think I'll be on cruise number 18 right now? If I
Mm.
would have waited on people, no, I wouldn't. So some things you got to do on your own because you sit around waiting on people to do stuff, and more women are discovering that. I'm a part of quite a few travel groups, cruise groups. There's so many people taking solo cruises by themselves,
Come
doing stuff
on.
on their own. They're like, I'm tired of waiting. One lady said, my girlfriend dropped out. She's, I'm going. I said, and I put her, you better go.
Yep.
You're gonna miss out on life.
Hmm.
It's okay if she dropped out. It's okay. Don't need to be mad. Fine, she's grown. It's
Right.
okay. You go. Go ahead and pay it. And that's what I'm saying. We don't. Oh Lord, we'll spend thousands of dollars on a car, thousands of dollars on these kids, thousands of dollars on these spouses, but we gripe over a $2,000 cruise, something that's for you.
You ain't
It's
lying,
for
girl.
you. It's for you. It is for you. Do
Mhm.
it. We will gripe over. Oh my God, we gripe over so many things. And that's a whole nother podcast for you. We grab over, we grab over, and that's another thing I think that women that brings us down is when we see others doing this, doing these great things, you know, and somehow something in society or someone in society has told us that, oh, we can't do that.
Right.
When people say that to me, I say to them, people ask me how I do this, how I do that. I say, I'm not doing anything that you can't do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing anything that you could not do.
Absolutely. And cruising by yourself. And I tell people I go to movies by myself, I eat by myself, but I'm not by myself when I go, because by the time I finish, I done met this person and built
Yes.
this relationship. And because naturally they see it on you. People see it
Yeah.
on you. And they're so impressed that you out here by yourself eating. And
Yeah.
then they start
They are.
talking, and then it's a whole big thing. But
They are.
spending time with yourself is a
Yes.
good thing, because you get to discover more and more who you are and what you like. And
Yeah.
it's all on you. But
You
I like
gotta
what you
love you.
said.
You gotta
Those
love you.
questions, those questions are important.
Yeah.
So the ultimate brag book, right?
Yeah. The ultimate brag book, 100 questions about how awesome you are. Go out to Amazon, just type in 100. You got the ultimate brag book, then 100, 100 questions about how awesome you are. And and look for my name, Marla J. Albertie. It'll come up. It's 100 questions. It's a workbook. It's easy to do. I recommend doing one a day. Doing one question a day. What I like to do is I like to flip open a book and just turn to a page and just fill out a page.
Mm.
Just random. And you'll be surprised. People have come back and told me, oh my gosh, so many fun things. Like, Marla, I didn't realize all the stuff I like. I know, because you never took the time to write it down. You
Yeah.
ever sat down and said, oh, this is what I like, this is what I like.
Yeah.
You know what crackers little Bobby likes, right? You know
Mhm.
all that. You know that would have, as a mom or dad should, right? But you forgot about you.
Mm.
You forgot about you. And
Mm.
this book is to help you remember who you are.
Yeah.
You are powerful. You are real. You are human. And I say this all the time. One of my mantras is, we're human beings, but how often do we get a chance to be?
Mm.
Where's the being at? And I have to remind myself of that.
Mm.
Sometimes I just gotta be. Sometimes when I write in my journal every morning, I just write down. Sometimes I write one word, just be. Just be. And the third thing I was gonna mention to you earlier, it slipped my mind. Mention to you earlier was I'm big on the law of attraction.
Mhm.
And when we fight things in our spirit and in the universe, when we don't have the art of allowance, and I'm still perfecting this, I'm still learning it, things don't go right.
No.
But when you allow, just allow, just allow things to flow.
Mm.
Stop trying to control. Me, I'm a Leo, so controlling is in my nature.
Mm.
It's in my nature. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's in my nature.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have to sit back and say, so what am I trying to get here? What am I doing here? What
Mm.
sometimes, but again, what does that go back to, Gloria? It goes back to doing the self-work.
Yeah.
Self-awareness is the first component of emotional intelligence. It is
Absolutely.
the hardest component to cross over, to
Oh,
get
yeah.
to the other three components. So self-awareness. And you have to sit back and say, okay, allow this to happen. Allow
Mm.
it to happen. It's okay. It's okay to not go. It's 1,000 different ways to get to California. You
Mhm.
don't have to drive. You can fly. You
Mhm.
can walk.
Mhm.
You can do whatever you want to do. Skip.
Yeah.
It's different ways to get to where you're trying to go. You don't have to follow my path. You can follow Gloria's path. Do whatever you want. Read a book and take all those 10 books and do all the paths that's in the book. But
Mhm.
you can get to where you're trying to go. Your mindset will allow you to get there. Have a growth mindset, as Dr. Dweck says. Have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Stop saying that you can't have this or you can't have that. Because what my coach told me a long time ago, whatever you believe, you're 100% correct. So whatever you believe, you're right. So if you believe you're ugly, you're right. You're right. And that's going to show out to the world too. And the world's going to think you're ugly too. If you don't think you can do it, then you're right. The woman you were describing earlier, The woman you said that, well, I come home, I go to work every day, I got to take care of these kids. I don't have time. Well, you're right. You're right. You're right. You don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. You don't. And my Dr. Phil voice, let me know how it works out for you. Because
Mm-hmm.
you don't have time, right? Because you don't want to make the time. You want to make excuses. And the amount of time you said those words, you could have bought yourself a journal and started journaling.
Better speak those words, girl.
I and I speak it because I say that over and over again. I don't have it perfected. I just do
Yeah.
the work on myself. I just do the work. I literally have to have my accolades around me to remind me, oh, I did do that. I did get that degree. Oh, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
have positive, I have the 4 agreements right here. The
Yep.
4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. I have them right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not perfect. I gotta remind myself constantly. So I'm not perfect. It's called doing the work. If you haven't got anything out of this podcast today, ladies, it's you got to do the work. Stop making excuses. You got to do the work so
Mm.
you can become who you want to become. So you can harmonize your life. You can harmonize all areas of your life. You can. You can brag on yourself. You can do it. You can do it. Stop looking at what other people have and what you don't have. Stop, because you don't know their story. You don't know how they got it. You don't know how she got that Louis Vuitton. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know, and who cares?
It might not even be hers, but like you said, who cares? Nobody
Who
cares.
cares? No
You concentrate
one cares.
and concentrate on
You
what
so
you got.
focused on
That's
that
right.
you got one. You don't.
That's right.
Who cares? Like what value is that adding to your life?
Nothing.
Run a filter through. What value does this add to my life?
Mm-hmm.
Zero.
Mm.
Zero.
Mm.
We could, like I said, Gloria, we'll be here next week till next week.
Marla, how can we follow you so we can have some good positive motivation? Give us your
Yeah, so
website and your social media and everything.
please. So my website is truthspeakscoaching.com. Oh, excuse me, these allergies. Oh, the allergies
I
in
got
Florida.
them
I'm in
too.
Florida. Allergies. So
Mm-hmm.
truthspeakscoaching.com. Go out there, sign. If you sign up to be on my newsletter, you get a work-life harmony workbook. It's very detailed. You'll love it. Please go out there and sign up. I want to put a plug in for my nonprofit I just started, IO for Teens, www.ioforteens.org. We're teaching teenagers the science of psychology, helping them achieve their dreams, finding solutions for them to achieve their dreams through the science of IO psychology, which is the study of behavior in the workplace. I'm currently getting my PhD in that. And I love the field. So go out to the website, support us there. You can follow me on Instagram, T Speaks Group. I'm on Facebook, True Speaks Coaching, or True Speaks Group on Facebook. LinkedIn under my name, Marla J. Albertie. Find me on LinkedIn. You can email me at contact@truespeakscoaching.com. I'm accessible.
Mm.
I may not be able to get to you right away, but I'm accessible.
Right.
If you need coaching, I'm not cheap because I know who I am,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And I know what I can provide for you. But I can't though promise you is what you'll do. I don't know. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know
Absolutely.
what you do, but I can promise you'll be a different person. I'm done coaching you,
Mm.
right? So, but if you do the work, but yeah, support us. We're helping these teenagers change the world. One person at a time. Go out there and buy the book. Go Amazon. It's also on my website. I write a lot. I have more book projects on the go as we speak. So more to come throughout the rest of this year. I got a lot going on, and people ask me all the time, Marla, how do you do it? I'm in my lane. I'm in my
Mm-hmm.
lane.
Mm-hmm.
I make time for what I want to make time for.
Yep. That's what they
Point
say.
blank.
They say,
I
Gloria,
control my time.
they say, Gloria, how you doing all this? I'm like, I'm minding my business. That's it.
Right.
I'm just sitting
Thank
up
you.
here
I'm in
minding
my
my
lane.
business.
I'm in my
Yeah.
lane. In my lane. Do I
My,
get tired? Of course, I'm a human being. Of course, I
of
get tired.
course.
Don't you get tired? You know,
All the time.
it's okay, right? But I'm in my lane. I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I love helping see people grow and develop. But at the same time, I can't continue to help folks and if I'm not doing it. So I got to invest as much as I invest. I'm gonna invest more in me. Marlon
Absolutely.
will always be first. And you can
Absolutely.
call it selfish if you want to. It's not. I'm
Mm.
gonna always be first. I got to. I got to keep my cup full so I can help you.
Come
Some
on.
will always help the other person, but I'm going to help me first.
Mm.
And if everybody thought that way, If everybody's cup was full, there wouldn't be no problems in this world. There wouldn't be any problem.
Great.
There
Marla,
wouldn't.
it was a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank
Ladies,
you.
I know you got a lot of nuggets out of this. I want you to go
Please,
get her book, The Ultimate
please.
Brag Book, on Amazon.
Yes.
Start doing the questions, follow her on social media, get the
Please do.
coaching if you need to get the
Yes.
coaching. And remember, what she has and what she has created for you indirectly is a blueprint for you
Yeah.
to start figuring out who you are and what it is that you like.
Yes.
And if you are starting this growth journey, then this is something that you really need to grasp and get your hands on, because
Yes.
this might be your first step to opening up your mind
Yes.
into what it is that you really truly want for yourself. Because
Yes.
you can't ask yourself questions you don't know, but when other
Oh,
people ask you questions, it gets you to think.
yes.
It gets you to think.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Marla. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. We will definitely have you back in
Thank
some
you.
form of fashion to talk to
Yeah.
our ladies, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Gloria. This has
much.
been amazing. Bye, ladies. Take care
Absolutely.
of yourself. Love on yourself. Love it.
Have a good night, okay?
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.